So, hello, I'm here with Carly. I'm very excited because she's going to be the first person we're going to be drinking around the world with. And obviously, she's from Mexico. Do you want to tell us something about you?
Well, I think Laura's gonna edit here my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube channel. They're like very different from each other. Like they're not the same topic as Disney, but maybe you'll find something you like if you speak Spanish, of course.
So, if you want to practice your Spanish, it's really nice. I watch your YouTube videos sometimes to practice my Spanish. But
yes, I think I have to go back to YouTube. So
yes, you haven't posted in so long.
but I think like I'm focusing on TikTok because it's growing like really fast.
Yeah, you're so famous on TikTok. Anyway, tell me what drink we're making today.
So today I did a watermelon margarita. I don't know if I haven't tasted it, but I hope it's good.
I hope so too. I got my ingredients ready. Okay.
Here are the ingredients.
Yeah. I'll post them over on Instagram too. So this is your chance to go and look at them. Okay.
Here we have the main ingredient.
Tequila. It has a sombrero.
That's so cool. Oh, that's a good one.
Really? It's the one we always have.
I mean, it's from Jalisco, so it's definitely good. Mine, it's also, I think, from Jalisco.
Kali knows her tequila, apparently.
You know, it's actually funny because I'm not a huge fan of tequila.
Me neither. I opened this and I smelled it and I was like, ew, gross.
It's very hard. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I used to drink a lot of tequila, but now I just can't take it.
I don't think I've had a single good memory of tequila. Like,
you know, that's the funny thing about tequila. It just erases your memories.
So. It's like vodka. Like tequila is like Mexican vodka, basically.
Oh, but I love vodka.
So. Oh no. So I looked at this recipe and it's like 2 ounces of tequila and 2 ounces of watermelon juice.
So here's my tequila.
Okay. So 2 ounces of tequila, right? Okay.
Which actually, what is 2 ounces? Like, you guys use milliliters too, right?
Yeah. But I think I overdid it. But anyway.
Well, in Mexico, we would say that you are doing it al tanteo, which is like not really measuring it.
Yes. So this is brandy, which I had a very hard time finding because it has a completely different name in Germany. You know how hard it was to find watermelon juice? Did you find any?
I did, I searched a juice box, a watermelon juice box, so I'm hoping it's gonna taste good. Like, I haven't tried it.
I have a watermelon juice box too.
There's also gonna be lime juice.
Yeah. I got this because I'm lazy. It's like
I just went outside and, you know, took like 2 limes.
Wait, you have real limes? Nice.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's funny because I don't know if... Well, I use lemons, but it here says lime. But I'm sure they meant lemon. So.
Okay. Well, I got lime, but we'll see.
I think it's the same.
Okay, and I think this is the last ingredient. I just hope this dissolves.
Salt. Salt is very, very important. Technique for whenever you're drinking something with tequila, you put lime juice like on the edges of the glass, and then you on a little plate put salt, and then you go like this so that the salt gets into the cup. But what you can also do, it's put on your hand like a little bit of lemon.
Yeah, that's the way I know it.
Salt and then,
oh my god, I'm so proud of you. Yours is so much darker than mine. Salud?
Salud, yes.
Yeah. It's so strong.
It's strong. I mean, I like the fact that it's sweet because I like sweet drinks, but still you can feel the tequila.
I love how it's like super early for you and it's like super late for me.
I think like I've lost in track of time in this quarantine.
I know. When I text you on Instagram, you're always awake. So you worked in the Mexico pavilion. Which role did you have?
I worked in merchandise.
And would you do merchandise again, or would you take another position if you could go again?
You know, the thing is that I really want to go back. And I know that there's a lot more possibilities for me to go back if I go with food and beverage, because there's a lot of more openings. But the only thing that I would like think twice about it is that the people from food and beverage are not with Disney. Like it's a different company, and they don't have a lot of the perks that we have as real cast members. Obviously, I love to be in merchandise, but if I had to go like as a food and beverage person without being part of Disney, just to go back, I think I would do it.
Okay, okay. And did you ever consider ride, like operation? I know you guys have that. We in Germany we didn't.
Oh yeah, I think I would do that too because attractions is also Disney. It's
Yeah.
also Blue ID, so
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Okay, nice. I know I would go food and beverage again, 100%.
Yes.
It's the one I enjoyed the most, and I think I would have been very bored in merchandise. I am very jealous that you guys were inside for most of the time. I know we were outside like all the time. It was either too hot or too cold. It was so bad. It was yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that you were always like, "Oh my God, you're inside of the pyramid. It's not cold," and I was like, "Yeah," and you had to wear like this huge coats because
Oh
it
my
was
God, yeah.
freezing.
Our World War II codes, as we like to call them. Okay, so you did the program with me. So you started in October and we left in April, I think, right? We left around.
Sadly, yes.
You guys probably know Kali if you know my channel. You've seen her around. So what was your favorite Epcot country that's not your own?
Okay, for eating first, I have to say the Germany pavilion because
Really?
I love the caramel popcorn.
I thought you were gonna say Italy because of the pizza.
Oh, that's true.
But
But you know, it was too fancy of a pizza. I actually prefer the cheaper one. So, like, the one in Italy was too fancy. Oh, that's amazing.
it's really good too. It tastes really similar to the original one. It's really expensive too, so like
Yeah,
but
like if it's expensive for you being in Germany, I can't imagine if I ever found it here, it would be like
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, probably. It would probably be cheaper to just like go to Disney and have it there.
Walking around, I actually liked the Morocco pavilion. I like the fact that it was like so hidden. Like normally you wouldn't go back like to the back, but it was like a whole market like behind.
Also, it was so nice and shady and cool all the time. It was really good. Yeah. I like Morocco too. Like I really enjoy the architecture in Morocco. It's really nice. Okay, I have one question that I don't know if you can answer this. Tell me a secret, not so secret trivia point about your pavilion.
So we have this little mascot called Torito, which is this little piñata. And not many people know about it, but he actually has an Instagram page. And
my
people
God.
people would go there and take pictures with him. And sometimes you would get a feature on the Instagram page. Another fun fact is that he has a friend, which is the Norway troll. And he also has a Instagram page. I appear in some of these pictures because sometimes at the end of the day we would take pictures with him. Like that's me.
Oh my God, that is so cool. I wish we had something like that, but like in food and beverage, you don't have enough time to make an Instagram page for a mascot. Oh,
You're running all day and we're like taking pictures with Torita.
And I'm like, pretzels are empty, beer is empty. Did you ever get to drink around the World Showcase in real? No, right?
No, not unfortunately not. But I will go back and do my drinking around the world.
Yes, me too. I always start in Mexico, which is the only correct way to go around the World Showcase, but I wouldn't for drinking around the world because I think if you start off with a margarita, you're drunk in Germany. Like,
yeah,
I asked this guy for his ID and he was like, oh, you're the first person that asked me for my ID today. And I was like, well, how many drinks have you had? And he was like, yeah, this is my 5th one. I was like, boy, it's 12.
What?
This is the funniest story ever. I had this girl come up to me. I was like, hi, girl, can I see your ID? She had already ordered and she was like, sure, showed me her ID with like all confidence. I was like, you're 19. She's like, yeah, I'm 19. I was like, no, you can't. You're not old enough to drink in this country. And she was like, what? I'm 19. And I'm like, no, you need to be 21. So that's something that you don't get in merchandise.
You know, it's funny because when you're in merchandise, you get this drunk guest to buy a lot of crazy things because they're like super drunk and they're like, this is cute. It's like $100, but I don't care. And they buy it and you're just like, My sales are going up.
Remember when those Brazilians always came up to me and tried to talk to me in Portuguese, and I'm like, Spanish? I barely speak Spanish. I can explain my beers in Spanish, but that's about it.
Yeah, like even we spoke Spanish and we didn't understand them. I remember this one time, like it was so annoying. This old lady came up to me with like a tons of pennies and quarters and whatever, and she had to pay like $5, right? And she lays like this bunch of coins, and she's like, I don't know, like in Portuguese, like yeah, this. And I was like, no, $5, like $5, expecting he would understand the Spanish. And he kept on talking Portuguese, and he was like, no. And I was like, what? And I remember that even her daughter told her, and I caught that. I actually understood that from the Portuguese. She told her, like, Mom, don't be rude.
I remember like one time this Portuguese or Brazilian, I think they were Brazilian, family came up to me and they started speaking Portuguese, and I was like, I'm sorry, I only speak Spanish. I think I said that in Spanish even, which probably was a mistake. And then they started speaking Portuguese with a Spanish accent. And I was like, doesn't make it any easier for me to understand you. That was like my most funniest interaction with the Brazilians. They were like, yeah, if we speak Portuguese with a Spanish accent, she's definitely gonna understand us. I was like, no, no, I'm not gonna understand you. Okay, so your favorite position was Kit Kat, right? Or
No.
No?
No. At the beginning, I was like, oh, it's so cute, just like sitting here and chatting with the kids. But then whenever like every 5 kid would sneeze on your face, you would be like, ooh, I don't think I like it.
COVID became a thing.
The last day we were working there, it came like this family of people from the UK, and one of the kids was sick. And he literally, like, I gave him the card and he went like, achoo! Like, straight into my face. And, you know, a week later, I was super sick. Super sick. So
I think all the cast members had COVID at some point. Like,
I'm sure of that.
What is one question guests would always ask you?
Yeah, well, I have a few. When we were inside, they would always ask us, like, where's the ride? And we'd be like, oh, like if you just turn around, then you're gonna see like a huge sign that says Gran Vista Tour.
Hidden, but like sometimes the line is all the way outside of the pyramid.
When we were outside, some people would ask, like, they would go like, oh yeah, you can find more of this stuff inside of the pyramid. And they would go, inside of the pyramid? Like, is there something inside of the pyramid? And we're like, yeah, like, there's
something is inside.
Ride and shops and like even the tequila bar. So you should definitely go.
Yeah.
And the third one would be like, where's the bathroom? And I don't know why we don't have a bathroom in the Mexico Pavilion. So we would go, oh, it's gonna be outside to your left in Norway. And they would go, in Norway? And we'd be like, yeah, you know, like the pavilion, not the country. You don't have to go to Norway. Like, it's outside.
I loved it. People always ask us, like, is this Norway? Where's the frozen ride? Like, all the time. And then once I talked to people from Norway, and they were like, people always ask us, is this Germany? Where did we get beer? What? Favorite moment that happened while you were working?
Favorite moment? Oh, well, actually, I would say that this happened backstage. Like, it was, like, I don't know how to preserve the magic. But the thing is that we were backstage. And I remember it was my first day that I had to do stock. And, like, I don't know how it works with food and beverage.
It's terrible. But, it's the worst.
Yeah. It's the worst. In any position, it's the worst. But the thing is that you had, like, here you had to make a list of each of the items. And, you know, go search in this huge, like, bodega upstairs. And it was terrible. It was my first day. And I was, like, panicking because my time was running out. And I was like, I haven't gotten anything that I needed. And people are going to be mad because I heard that people would get mad if we wouldn't bring the things that we needed. I was like, oh, my God. And I was going out with a cart, like, full of things. And I was like, ah, and I couldn't move it. And suddenly I feel like somebody taps me on the shoulder. And I turn around. And it was Donald. Like, and he was like, like, let me help you. And I was like, thank you. And he went with a card like that. And he helped me, and he put it like right before entering the pavilion. And he was like,
Oh, that is so cute.
and I was like, thank you, Donald. And it's like that. And he went out to interact with the guest. But I was like, oh my God, like he did magic, like to me, like there was no one around, like he didn't need to do that. But, and the thing is that I was losing it, like was, and I don't know, it made my day.
Do you see Donald a lot?
Yes.
I sometimes saw Snow White, but she hung out in a different trailer than we did, so I only ever saw her while I was going on stage, because I went through the entrance that Snow White comes through. So like people were waiting, character attendant and photo pass people, they were all there waiting, and I came out with my stalker card and it was like, "Hi, sorry, I'm not Snow White. I'm sorry, I know you don't want me here," and I like ran through because it was so embarrassing, but it was the shortest way, so I went through there anyway. Sometimes I saw her backstage, and we have a mirror there, and she always checked her mirror before she went on stage. It was really cute.
Oh.
Okay. Anyway, favorite moment on your program while you were not working? So as a guest, or maybe even not on Disney property at all.
I would say that it's not one moment, but it was like a repetitive thing that happened. I would love, and you know this, I would spend all of my nights on Wendy's. That was my only real meal of the day because I would never cook for myself anything. So the 4 saved my life. And I don't know, every time we would go there with all of the Mexican guys, and we would stay there until like 2 a.m. just talking and laughing. And I don't know, I loved that Wendy's. And I'm so sad. Well, with the new complex, I don't know. I feel weird about the fact that Wendy's it's not gonna be anymore like 4 cast members.
I know. I felt so bad for all the people that weren't cast members that were there. I'm like, okay, this must be weird. Like, you probably just came from Disney World and now you're seeing all these cast members, like half dressed, going into Wendy's, being complete assholes, to be honest. Like, most people did not behave well while they were in Wendy's.
Yeah, like
the time we met the dinosaur?
Yes.
And
we took pictures with him. That was so random.
It was so random. Like, it was so weird, but like so amazing. Like, to just think about it. Like, especially because one of the people that accompanied him was an actual character attendant still in his costume. It was so funny.
And do you remember that nobody was taking pictures and we were like, oh, we kind of want to take a picture, and he was like, yeah, come over.
Yeah.
And we ran.
He was like, yeah, your autograph book's ready. And I was like, oh man, I don't have my autograph book with me. But then I went home, and then the dinosaur followed me home because he went out like right after me. It was very crazy. And a moment in the parks that you really enjoyed, like maybe someone gave you a magical moment? I'm not sure how to phrase that. Is that what you say? Someone give you a magical moment, or did they make you whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was probably the very merry Christmas party when I went with my friend. I went twice. The first time it rained terribly, and the second time, like, we actually got to see all of the parades and the shows, and it was just amazing.
I'm so sad I never got to go. I'm so sad. I never went to the Mickey's very Merry Christmas party. That's a terrible name. And I never went to the Not So Scary Halloween party either, because I thought I was going to go again in October and August before we flew. But then I never got to go. And I never went to the Christmas party because I was like, is this really something I want to go to? I thought it would be boring. So I didn't.
I mean,
which I regret.
I think it depends whether you prefer Christmas or Halloween, because I prefer Halloween, so I like the what is it called? Mickey's Not So Scary. Yes.
Yeah, like I had a costume, I just didn't go because I didn't want to pay full price for the Mickey's Not So Scary. And it's very sad now. I really regret not going.
If I were to choose like another arrival date, I would definitely choose October. Like, I don't know, it was just great.
Yeah, and also you kind of get used to the heat, because if you go there in July, it's probably like crazy. Like your first shift, like working at 40 degrees Celsius for like 6 hours. That sounds terrible.
Yeah, I remember that like the first days of October, it wasn't even that hot. Like we were just like very humid, and
Yeah.
slowly we got into the colder weather.
Remember
Which
how cold it got?
I died. Like look, like it's January and we're like it's sunny and
It
hot.
snowed yesterday, but sure.
No, it's already like summer in here. Like I already feel like we're in spring.
I would definitely recommend getting like, if you're working outside, like getting thick skin colored tights, like the ones like ice skaters wear, which
Yeah.
I think would definitely have helped, because you only were allowed to wear like skin color one. It was very, very cold, especially at the legs. I know we had to close the pretzel cart, which was the one closest to the lake. We had to close that down a
Ooh.
lot because it was so cold and windy. Favorite character to meet?
Favorite character to meet? I would say Donald. I would say Donald.
Okay.
Even
Okay.
though I don't have any pictures with him. But the thing is that I would always meet him backstage.
Favorite Walt Disney World park?
Epcot, without a doubt. Epcot.
Okay, good. That was a very quick answer. Would you do the CRP again? Why? I think.
Oh,
But,
absolutely.
Yeah. This is
I mean,
not
not only because
ask you.
yeah, I mean, I absolutely would do it, and the reason why it would be like, first of all, I would appreciate more everything, like because I
Same.
I always thought like I have 6 months left,
Yes,
and
exactly.
I remember that a lot of people said like, oh no, in your last month you're gonna do everything, like you're gonna be in a rush, like yeah, I have to do everything. So I was like, okay, maybe I leave some of those things for the last month. But then it never came, and one day we were cast members, and the next one we were back home.
I know. For us, we all really thought we were gonna go back in 2 weeks. Like when they
Yeah.
closed the parks, we were like, I left my work shoes in my locker because I thought I was gonna come back and like get them, and now I feel so bad for the person that had to clean out that locker because they probably smelled so bad.
The thing is that even 2 weeks seemed crazy. Like I was like, ooh, like 2 weeks is
They
excessive.
never closed for that long. Never.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
And the fact that Disneyland hasn't opened, like it still shocks me.
I have one last question for you. Okay. If you could spend one day at Disney right now in a time where COVID never existed, what would you do?
Okay, first, well, I think that we have talked about this at the beginning, but I would definitely go and do the drinking around the world. I would do early the drinking around the world, and I don't know what I would do, but I'm sure I would end it with watching Fantasmic.
I would rope drop Hollywood Studios and do Rise of the Resistance. And then I'd leave the park as soon as I got Rise of the Resistance. And then I'd probably go to Epcot and just like walk around just for like memory's sake. And then I'd end the night watching Happily Ever After, which leaves out Animal Kingdom since it's my favorite park.
True.
So I don't want to stand in line for 3 hours if I only have one day. I think I would need to end with Happily Ever After. Because I didn't watch Happily Ever After a lot. I know we watched it like together once, and then I think I watched it again like 2 times or something, and that's the only time I ever watched it. Just kind
Really?
of yeah. I don't know why. I think I always left Magic Kingdom because it exhausted me a lot. It's so exhausting. Like I got like 3 fast passes for the day. I went there and then I left.
No, and I remember like whenever I wanted to go to Magic Kingdom, I thought like, oh, this is gonna be fun. But just the fact of thinking like going back home, like, oh my god, you would have to cross all of the parking lot.
Yeah.
Then there would be like hundreds of, well, not hundreds, but a lot of people waiting for the bus. And then Vistaway was the last stop from the bus, so it was terrible. And you were exhausted.
Yeah, and also in Magic Kingdom, I know they like changed around the security, and then at one point you had to go like all the way around security and then all the way back, and they were like, no, you can't go through here. And I was like, please, I just need to get to the bus stop. It's like right there. And they were like, no, you need to go all the way.
I think that sometimes it would be easier like to go to any resort. Like, I don't know, the Polynesian or the Contemporary.
I miss the Poly so much.
Yes,
I know. Do you remember how we wanted to stay there and we never did? Like, did you ever stay at a single Disney resort and apart from the one you stayed at the very beginning?
No, and we did have planned that because one of my friends, he was like, is fan of anything Polynesian. He even went to Hawaii before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And he said like, on my last day here, I need to stay in the Polynesian. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it with you. And we were this close of doing the reservation. Like we would have lost
Yeah.
money, or maybe not, but we were so close of doing. Like I was definitely gonna stay there.
Remember, like the first day when we went resort hopping, and we were like, we want to stay at the Polynesian. This is our favorite resort, and then we never did. Got up
Yeah.
at the Poly, and then took the monorail to Magic Kingdom, which I miss that.
Yeah.
I don't think I went to Magic Kingdom as much as I went to any of the other parks. Like, apart from Hollywood Studios, of course, because we never, they didn't let us go to Hollywood Studios.
I remember I went the last time, like, oh, yeah, like, I remember the last time I went to Hollywood Studio was, like, the last time ever going there.
I know I took one of my comp tickets to go to Hollywood Studios because I was like, I need to do Rise of the Resistance. I don't want to be spoiled, and I need to do it. And I'm so glad I did. That's like the one thing I'm so glad I did on my program, that I didn't push for like the end and wait for it to open. Yeah. I remember when I wrote it, and I know like Flight of Passage was my favorite ride, and then I wrote Rise of the Resistance. I was like, who even is Flight of Passage anymore? Rise of the Resistance. I even asked my manager, like jokingly, like, can you transfer me over to Rise of the Resistance? I want to work there. Like, I want to be one of those like first order officers so badly.
It's amazing because it's not only a ride, like it's a whole experience.
You everything.
Get actors and
yeah,
like the simulator that you go in before, and then it opens and
somewhere else. It's so crazy. Like they opened the door. I thought they were gonna open the door on the other side. I was like, okay, yeah, we're gonna go through there, and like, yeah. And they opened the door on the same side we came in. I was like, well, what?
I don't know how they do that.
I nearly finished my second drink, and you're still on your first one.
Because I think I'm talking, and I forget about it.
But at least like I'll be able to go to sleep after this, and you'll have to like do
live the rest of the day. Well, I mean, I can always take a nap, so...
I don't have any more questions, but is there anything you want to tell me, like secrets? Anything you want to tell me about your pavilion?
Secrets about my pavilion. Well, I think this is like a given one. A lot of people know about this, but like I said, there's a bar inside of the pyramid, and sometimes the line is shorter. So everyone goes to the Choza de la Margarita, which is outside, but you can get the same drinks inside. But it really depends, because sometimes the line for the one inside also goes outside of the pyramid. But usually it's a lot slower inside. So if ever you want to get a drink, get it inside.
And I met Living with Disney or Living by Disney.
Oh, yeah.
I met her too at work, and I didn't want to say anything because I didn't recognize her, because Instagram is always like mirrored, so it looks different. So it's like, is this her? Or is this not her? And then I saw her taking a picture of her drink, and I was like, I'm sure it was her. But I DM'd her, and I was like, I think I saw you today in the Germany pavilion, and I didn't want to say hi because you looked so different. She's like, oh my God, you should have said hi. I was like, oh, I should have. But yeah, I never did.
I saw Chris Evans from the back.
Oh my God, I think you told me that. I think I've heard that story before.
Yeah, I remember it was around Christmas time, and everyone I knew was working. So I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna be a grown up. I'm gonna go to Epcot alone. And yeah, I went there. It was super cold. And I remember I went to chat with some of my friends that were like on the outside location of the Mexican Pavilion, and they were talking to another guy that was there, like not working, like as a guest. And he was like, yeah, I'm going crazy. Like, I can't believe it. Oh my God, he's so hot. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, who? And they were like, Chris Evans is inside of the restaurant. I was like, what? Restaurant, like I'm breathing like in the same atmosphere that Chris Evans is. They were like, yeah, go inside. They were like, just pretend you're going to, like, pretend you're going to the bathroom, like go inside, and he's gonna be sitting on this like little room separate obviously from everyone. So just go inside and take a glance. Don't be so obvious because you're gonna get kicked out. But just like go inside. And I remember it took me forever. I was like, no, what if they catch me and they kick me and whatever? And they're like, no. I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to meet Chris Evans, or at least I want to see him. and I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, I saw him from the back, like laughing, like ha ha ha, ha. And it was beautiful.
Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I saw Neil Patrick Harris do Candlelight, but like everyone saw Neil Patrick Harris do Candlelight. I'm thankful that you're like my first guest. It was really fun with you. And
Thank you for inviting me and for letting me know this amazing recipe. Like, I think I'm gonna do more watermelon margaritas from now on.
It's really good. Like I know we haven't talked about our drinks yet, but it's really good.
Yeah, I think
about like stupid stuff, but yeah,
it's sweet. Like, if you like sweet drinks, like, it's amazing because it like
it's really
it's
sweet.
a contrast with
but I think the lime juice or lemon juice or whatever, it really does something. It really helps. I think without the juice, it wouldn't be so good, but it's really good. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. And yeah, follow me and Kali on Instagram. Follow Kali on TikTok and YouTube. She's on like all 3 platforms. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe here on YouTube. And thank you so much for hanging out with me, guys. Stay magical. Bye bye.